Mayhem at MSG. Judgment Day for Matt Rempe. Not exactly Ali versus Frazier, but maybe the most anticipated fight at MSG since Domi versus Probert in 1992.
Look out, baby. Probert's got the boxing gloves on. He is ready for Domi. 7 punches, 8. Bingo, they were going at it. Bang, away they go.
And now, more than 34 years later, are we right back here again? It's been a powder keg waiting to go off since Matt Rempe, the 6'7", 241-pounder from Calgary, erupted onto the scene just 6 weeks ago and immediately started marking his territory. We can debate and probably should challenge fighting's merits in the game of hockey overall, but there's no arguing the attention last night's slugfest drew in the most coveted hockey market in North America, a city where anything less barely moves the needle in an already super-saturated sports market that ordinarily pushes hockey to a mere footnote on the back page. You could not have picked a better stage to host the fireworks than the world's most famous arena. And the main event more than delivered. The rabid fans certainly got more than their money's worth as the titanic battle of the heavyweights headlined a full undercard of tilts that ballooned into an old-fashioned 5-on-5 line brawl. The Devils got their pound of flesh in the form of payback for Rempe's taking out 2 of their own in their last 2 meetings. And as for Rempe himself, there's no better way to endear yourself to your own fans than by drawing the ire of those who cheer on one of your most hated rivals. To the fight of the year in a moment, but first, a look at how we got here. February 18th, Matt Rempe's first shift in his first NHL game. As soon as the puck hit the ice, the 21-year-old dropped the gloves and went with Matt Martin. Message sent. The kid was ready to take on all comers. 4 days later, Game 3 of his fledgling NHL career, with his reputation preceding him, the kid went into the hostile confines of the Rock in New Jersey, ready and anxious to add to his lore. Just 13 seconds into his first shift, Rempe blindsides Nathan Bastian with a crushing hit along the boards. Bastian is bloodied. He ultimately needed to be helped off the ice. He hasn't played a game since that hit. Rempe was given a match penalty and tossed. The Devils were chomping at the bit to settle the score, but vengeance would have to wait. But the fuse was ignited. Word spread quickly, and his legend grew. 5 games and 3 fights later, March the 11th at MSG, Devils fans were calling on their tough guy to settle the score for them. Kurtis MacDermid was dressed and ready to go, but Rempe wasn't interested. He had his sights set on something else entirely different. He was ready to run roughshod over anything that moved. D-man Jonas Siegenthaler got caught in his crosshairs, and Rempe delivered a brutal elbow to the head. It was ugly. He knocked Siegenthaler out of that game and 9 more games. Needless to say, MacDermid tried to get at Rempe, but the officials skated him off the ice with 5 in a game. And to make matters worse, Rempe threw out the sarcastic little wave on his way out. MacDermid was fuming.
There's a right way to go about things and a wrong way, and I kind of lost a lot of respect for him tonight.
So the fuse continued to burn closer to the flashpoint. Rempe got 4 games for the elbow, but that was of little or no consolation for MacDermid, his Devils teammates, or their fans. They were not going to be satisfied until they got to dole out a measure of their own revenge. And that brings us to last night's title fight at MSG. The final clash of the season between the New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils. The stage was set. The lid was ready to blow off. Everyone in the building, everyone watching from home, everyone knew exactly what was going to happen. The only question was when. So the coaches took matters into their own hands. As the visitors, it was up to the Devils to fire off the first salvo, and they did. Travis Green sent Kurtis MacDermid out of the red corner and into the center ice ring for the opening faceoff. And from the blue corner, rather than delay the inevitable, Peter Laviolette responded with Matt Rempe. And as soon as the ref set them loose with the drop of the puck, the gloves came off. And they weren't alone. A full 5-on-5 line brawl. But there's no doubt all eyes were intently focused on the main event of the card.
No undercard tonight. Rempe and MacDermid, the main event to open the hockey game. MacDermid and Rempe exchanging blows, but everybody has gloves off at the Garden. MacDermid still feeding rights to Rempe and still going.
This is unbelievable. Holy jumping.
This is a marathon between Rempe and MacDermid.
Completely out of gas. Holy jumping. What a start to this one.
No rope-a-dope here. The titanic battle of two of the league's biggest heavyweights went for about a minute and a half, which in this weight class is the equivalent of an eternity. 8 players, including Rempe and MacDermid, were all ejected 2 seconds into the game. As for who won, no one's holding an official scorecard on this. And with everyone so personally invested, there's no way to be impartial. But there is something we can all be certain of. Just like every other title fight waged at MSG in the past, you can count on the fact there's going to be a rematch. Which brings us back to where we started this conversation. We can argue fighting's place and merits in the game, and I'd love to hear what you personally think of what happened, how it played out, and where we're going from here. We can wring our hands and say, are we really back here again? But there's something that's really not up for debate. No matter anyone's public, often very vocal stance on fighting in the game, as soon as next year's NHL schedule comes out, hockey fans everywhere are going to be marking their calendars in anticipation of Rempe MacDermid, the rematch.